Morning. Feeling a little dark this morning. Guess that's what happens when you go back from a life of relative freedom to feeling like a prisoner again. Or a caged wolf. This is my theme. I understand there's a lot of people out there who think I should be able to tone it down, fit in with their vision of society. It's as good a way as any of putting it. But, you know, people have their own views and ways and strong beliefs, and that's where clashes happen. I grew up in a 3 male, 1 female household, and all 3 males were extremely competitive. It's because it's how my father was brought up, I think. Plus the fact, very much like myself, his social skills were stifled. Mine just by being a geek and being bullied at school, and his by boarding school and bullying. And trying to form the right words. So therefore, all I grew up with is conflict and competition between 3 alpha males. At Christmas, it very quickly became apparent that board games were a no-no. You know what I mean? We didn't play Trivial Pursuit or Monopoly after Christmas lunch because there'd always be a bloody argument. Mum tried, bless her, but eventually she just gave up on it. It never happened. I mean, maybe when Dad had fallen asleep, because he invariably would go drinking before Christmas dinner. There were occasions I remember him basically practically falling asleep in his Christmas lunch. So basically when people, and I understand this excludes me from certain places and situations, that's fair enough. I'm beginning to realise that's okay by me. No resentfulness, no bitterness. Well, a little, but I try and control that. It makes me unsuitable for certain situations and certain roles, fair enough. But I just think there are some people out there who are like, have very little experience of, say, dog training and the way dogs behave, and then decide to buy something half Timberwolf as a family pet. And they think that they can, you know, and this but what's more, they buy it from a breeding kennel, so it's had very little social interaction. I hope this is making sense. You know. And they expect it to just, or it's a good boy, have a treat, behave. And it's like, what? I'm gonna fucking well take over then, aren't I? And they wonder why I snap, bite and growl. I am not a safe space. I realise that. The tension and air and aura of conflict I bring makes people feel uncomfortable. I try to move it in different directions by constantly being over the top, ridiculous, funny, constantly finding something to do. I struggle with it. But there's some places and social situations where they get me. Because they understand if managed in the right way, I can do great things. I'm loyal. I will go out of my way to do anything for someone who treats me with respect. Hell, for a while, because other people around them were treating me with respect, I did anything for someone who I worked out really didn't respect me and in fact was rather wary of me. I won't go into where, but possibly some people out there who know me can guess. And no, I'm not talking about any public house, by the way. That's an entirely different situation, which I'm not going to go into. You know, expecting someone with a long history of competitive conflict and PTSD to suddenly play nice and talk about puppies and kittens, unless you want to pay for years of expensive therapy, that's not going to happen, is it? Let's be practical here. You know, sometimes I see some of my friends still kind of like making jokes around that kind of thing. I'm not sure how to take that, you know. Oh, you're just a big softie. Yeah, I am to most people who know me. Even then, there have been situations where I've shocked people who've thought that of me. Because when I turn. But it's always for a reason. Well, first reason being that I'm drunk. Second reason normally being some idiot wanted to poke the wolf. Well, when I'm sober completely, it takes a lot to set me off. When I'm drunk, it seems to me there are 2 or 3 circumstances that set me off. There is the feeling the need to defend someone who I feel is vulnerable against someone who's an obvious arsehole. Someone who I thought was a friend totally turning on me. And third, just some random stranger being an absolute dick and trying to provoke me. So there you go. And from my perspective, I think expecting someone to have total self-control in those circumstances, what do you think I am, a fucking god? I'm certainly not. There was to be a lot of fucking changes around here, I'll tell you. I mean, yeah, I have quite a skill set, but I'm not superhuman. More than human and less than in a lot of ways. I mean, my partner understands it, I think. She's a bloody psychiatric nurse. I'm just feeling really down at the moment. It's because I'm back to being skint, like I said, feeling trapped in a cage. And I just never seem to find a way of making any cash. I find ways of bartering and exchanging, but cold hard cash, that just don't happen, does it? And my income a month is now zero, because my mother has retired from working, and so she no longer pays me a little bit of money every month. I'm sure a certain person approves of that. I would imagine certain people think I should have sat on that legacy I was given and gradually, spent dribs and drabs rather than get what I wanted for historical reenactment, cosplay, crafting materials and tools, and just actually living a little. But those people are just miserable bastards as far as I'm concerned. And maybe that's the problem with some people. There's a lot of people out there who, yes, have had a lot of trauma and trouble and conflict in their lives. And they hide behind a wall of misery. And they think I cannot be traumatized because I hide behind a wall of laughter and action. Well, that's my viewpoint anyway. Yes, I am very different. I don't fit in. I am to a certain extent a freak. And I accept that. You can't, then tough. The Orms Guard accepted me. Odin's Raven Guard accept me. Synergy Cosplay accept me. Certain public houses in town accept me. Some don't. That's fair enough. I understand why. I think, I've just about worked it out. Just means I have to walk a little bit further, doesn't it? Not that even if certain places let me back in, I'd be spending much money at the moment because money gone, so missed out there, tough shit. I have various hopeful opportunities on the horizon, but there's nothing that seems to happen. at the moment, and it frustrates the hell out of me. It makes me very annoyed. I'm disappointed, mostly in people. You know, it's all right being given a burger maker and possibly a slow cooker in compensation for not getting a day's work, but cold hard cash, you know? I accept that when people like and comment on an item I'm selling, it helps with the exposure of the post. But no one seems to buy anything. I don't know. I have considered giving up and isolating again. It's certainly how I feel. It's getting to that stage again, you know. I struggle with that. Leave me quite a lot of the time if I haven't checked them lately, but if those premium bonds come up and I split it between me and my mum. Cabin in the woods, please. Scottish Island, please. I still want a decent Wi-Fi satellite connection so I could game, but peaceful isolation. It appeals so much to me. Imagining it is making me very content. At least my anger is lessened somewhat towards most human beings because I realise I just don't fit in, I won't be accepted. And I'm beginning to accept and therefore be less angry about that. So that's a good point, I suppose. Well, anyway, I hope whatever you're doing, you're feeling a bit better this morning. Take care.